All right, guys, welcome to our team call tonight. I'm so excited for our special guest. I'm not going to go over any announcements because we have a lot to kind of cover and a lot to ask our great speaker. I'm kind of doing something different with interviewing her with some cool questions. And so you kind of get to know her and see the real, Sara that she is, and just kind of really dig deep a little bit further than just sharing some speech to you. So let me just kind of introduce her and her accolades. She is a mother of 4. She's been a coach for only 21 months. She is a 12-star diamond coach. I know your mind is going to be blown like mine was when she sent me these. She has 3 business centers, including her husband's. She is a Market Council member. She is a Success Club 10 All-Star. 2 more months, and she is a legend. But is it a month now? Because you sent those to me a while ago.
It's a month. So I'm like, you start every month like, this is it. This is the month it's not going to happen. Every month I feel that way. So
we all do. Okay, 2014 Premier Coach, 6 months in. Like, oh my gosh, 2015 Elite Coach, and number 16 in the network in 2015. And she's a Summit speaker. So all of you guys that can't go to Summit, well, here's a sneak peek. And for those of you going, if you're not in her track, well, here she has the goods for you. So if you don't mind kind of like sharing with us a little bit just about yourself.
So, like you said, I'm a mom of 4. I have an 11-year-old son and 3 girls, 9, 7, and 3. I stay at home with them. That was always my goal. And I started, this business pretty much. I used to be a personal trainer. I'm still certified, but and I used to be a pharmaceutical rep way back when my son was born. We decided that I would stay home. So we were pretty much penny pinching, and I decided to go back to work in the evenings so my husband could be home. And I trained people. I didn't go to school for it. I went to school for broadcasting. So I became a trainer and started there. And then I used to take people on like nutritional tours. And I was looking for something that, could replace the whole, here's some whey protein isolate, but throw all this stuff in it too. So after I had my daughter, every Saturday and Sunday morning, I'd be nursing her. And I'm obsessed with infomercials. Like I'll watch any infomercial. And I never buy anything off it, but I'd always see insanity. So I actually put on Facebook in the search engine, I put insanity, and this girl popped up, and I started following her. And, it was never like me wanting to become a coach. I was like, nah, that's not for me. I'm not into any of that MLM. Like, I did Mary Kay, and that's just, it's bull. You can't make money. And, then another girl had, this was like a year before I even became a coach, a girl put up there, I'm going to be a Beachbody coach. And I was like, well, shoot, if she can do it, I'm going to do it. So I literally messaged this girl and said, hey, I want to sign up. What do I need to do now? And from there, when I say it took off, it took off. But, it's funny because I'm running this Emerald group with 3 other elite coaches, this one-day blitz. And the one girl was like, how did you get 51 Success Club points that first month? And I told them I invited my balls off. Like, I just invited everybody that I could, anybody. I didn't care what anybody thought of me. I was like, you know what? I have a passion. I want to do this. And that's how it started. So from there, it's just, it's been truly amazing. But I think about it and I think, oh my gosh, because, I freak out. Last summer, I was like, how am I going to do this with, 4 kids? And where am I going to fit this in? Because I really don't have a lot of time to work this business. So, and I think about it now and I'm like, oh my God, I started in June of 2014. So I started when they were all, young and off of school. So it's been crazy. Like, to know that, in June it'll be 2 years. I feel like I blinked. Like, to know this is my 2nd summit and I'm speaking at it. But
crazy.
It's been pretty cool. Yeah.
Isn't the time just fly? Like, I look back and I'm like, everybody should be doing this because the time is going to fly anyway. You could be creating this amazing thing for your life.
It's so true, because when you first start off as a coach and you see other people's successes, because now you're following every Beachbody coach and you're like, God, what am I doing wrong? But you have to remember they went through the same thing that you went through. It's just when they heard no, they kept going. Like, it's so hard to hear those no's, and you think to yourself, like, maybe this isn't for me. Because I was somebody, I didn't do personal development for like the first 6 months. Because I literally was like, I don't need that. I'm cool. You know, I got this. And then I hit a wall. And I remember saying to my husband, like, God, maybe this isn't for me. Like, maybe, you know, and you doubt yourself. And that's when maybe sometimes it's not a book that's going to make you feel better. For me, it's running. Like, me going for a run is clearing my head. It's my personal development. So, you know, I always say follow the top coaches, see what they do. Don't be them, and then stop following them and just be you. You know, just show up every day. What you are is a bad Kardashian commercial. That's what I tell people. Like, it's so bad. Well, why are the Kardashians famous? Because they're always on the media. They're always around. So when this TV show comes on, I'm always like, well, what's Scott going to do? And you just kind of get drawn into them. And that's kind of like, we're not Kardashians, I get it. But we're the type of people that people want to go, well, what is that girl doing today? You know, what workout program? And then when they see me eating pizza and I didn't get my workout in, they're like, oh my God, you know, she isn't Jillian Michaels saying, do this, do this, do this, and I'm perfect. It's like she screws up, but she's showing up. And that's what's inspiring to people. So they follow you.
Love it. Oh, you're awesome. What was your big aha moment, or what happened that made you really see and understand the opportunity with this business?
You know, before I signed up, I don't really have that aha moment. And I'm not afraid to admit that. Maybe it'll come to me, but I haven't had that. I think I truly thought, you know, when I signed up for this, I thought I'd love to just make $100 a month. Like, that would be really cool. You know, like, on top of it, I wasn't looking to go and create this, you know, huge business. That just wasn't me. You know, I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know network marketing. Danielle spoke on my call, which, by the way, she's amazing. I was like in awe of everything she was saying. But like, I don't even do a calendar for my team. So now they're all like, we need a calendar. And I'm like, I don't know how to do it. Like, I know what I know, and that's what I go with. But I'm always coachable. Just like I always tell my kids, don't think you know everything. There's always something. So for me, the aha moment, and I tell this to Leslie all the time, when she posted her income for the month, and it was like, I don't know, like $48,000 a month. And I was like, what? So, what? Like, I'm reading it, and I screenshotted it, and I thought, that's ridiculous. And now I'm like, no, it's not. So that aha moment to go, if she's doing this, and she's been in this for 5 years, and I've been doing this for 2 years, knowing where I am, that's going to happen. Like, it's just, that's the natural progression. As long, and it sounds so stupid because everyone's like, what's the secret sauce? There isn't. It's really about inviting. It's about ripping the Band-Aid off. It's about when you get haters. It's about when my mother still thinks it's a Ponzi scheme. My mother still says, well, what if somebody stops drinking Shakeology? I'm like, Mom, that's not how it works, you know. Just keep doing what you're doing, and your passion will live through. People will want to follow you because you identify with somebody who's sitting on a couch right now going, I don't know what to do anymore. They watch you. They will not, their pride, they will not message you. They just don't. They're waiting for someone to reach out to them. And that way they can connect with you. And if they follow you, then that's something that, you know, boom, oh my God, I follow you. I see you. I see you showing up when it's hard. I see you not being perfect with your diet, but you're still trying. Like, I want to be part of this good culture. But if you're on Facebook and you're complaining about something, or, you know, I always tell my team, don't bitch about something about your family. Like, just be the person that you would want to follow, you know, on Facebook. And that's really, that aha moment was with Leslie when she posted that, to think, well, why not me? Yeah, I'm this, I always think of Journey, that small town girl in Buffalo, New York, but if somebody else can do it, why can't I do it? You know, I'm not anything special, really. You know, I have, you know, 4 kids, and, you know, it's going to be harder for me because of time. But if my why is strong enough, you know, like last night, my husband's like, what time did you come to bed? I said 11:30. He goes, babe. He's like, you got to come, because, you know, with kids and everything, and I'm a sleeper. So I said, but it doesn't feel like work when I'm doing it. I just love to do it, and I have to shut myself down. So that was a long answer.
Yeah. And you know what drew me to you? I don't know if you guys know, or I didn't share it with you guys. I found you on Facebook, and I started following you before we went to the leadership retreat. before we went to the 5-star and up retreat in San Diego. And I just was drawn to her story. She was so real, so vulnerable, sharing like things that I relate to. Like her father passed, I think not too long before mine did. And so she was sharing those like real vulnerable things that even I was drawn to it as a coach, and I follow very few coaches, and her story was just like, this is it, and here's what I'm struggling with, and here it is. And I love that vulnerability. And she then shared her story at the leadership retreat we went to. And again, I was like blown away. I'm like, I gotta like talk to this girl, have her on a team call or just connect with her, because I just loved what she was about and all the things she was sharing. So that's, I think, a great example of why she's so successful too, is that she is just an open book. She's sharing and she's not holding back. And that's what draws people to her, even coaches, because they can relate to her. So that is personally why I follow you.
Aw, thanks, woman.
Okay, so what are the core activities you engage in that has grown your business the most?
You know, I think for me, it's been really about showing up even when it's hard. Really, that's been the big thing, is me showing up on Christmas, showing up. But for me, I don't care. I want people to know that this is my life, and, you know, I am an open book, and really just showing up every day on social media, no matter what. And if you, this is usually what I look like. Like, I actually have mascara on. I'm like, I better put something on for you guys. But I'm not, you know, I'm just a regular mom of 4 trying to share, you know, my best tips and my struggles. And, you know, it's funny because today I posted on my page, on my like page, that, you know, I went for a run and I saw a guy that looked like my father, and my father passed away, you know, back in 1998. And I was struggling and I was like having trouble running. And then I saw him. I'm like, that's it. I'm going to run for him. And I came home and I was like, I had tears in my eyes, and I thought, this sucks. Like, I it was like the worst run ever. And my daughter came in, and she's 3 years old. She's like, how was your run, Mommy? And then my Garmin beeped, and it said 1 new record, fastest mile. And I was like, it was awesome, you know? So I shared that with people. And I think when you really get to the heart of who you are, and I get it, family and friends might not understand it, but Beachbody's been kind of like therapy for me to get out what I need to get out. So my best practices really are about not just me holding my shake bottle. I love this stuff. It's really about that why. And I know, Danielle, you talked about, you know, the whole people buy why you do it. Well, why do you drink Shakeology? So I always tell my coaches, like, think about what you're posting, and is there a why? You know, why do you do this? Why are you working out? Why does it make, you know, and also share the bad stuff. Share that you snuck cookies. Share you ate pizza. Share who you are. It doesn't mean people won't follow you. And for a while, I used to think that, like, oh my God, I got to show this, you know, perfection. And I think that when you actually share who you are and what you're about, that's when people will be drawn to you. And this isn't about airing dirty laundry. And I've said this before, like, it's about really just kind of showing up. But you also have to get creative. It can't always be about working out and Shakeology and I love my team and everything is happy and rainbows and everything. You can't. So I think when you show up on especially your personal page too, which I know is hard, but when you really show up on that personal page and you treat it like a business, those are the core activities that's going to make your business fly. So whether you have a like page or you just post on your personal page, opening up on that personal page is huge. I know I've done a Stitch Fix. I have gotten more followers from my personal page doing a live Stitch Fix opening than I ever have, because I was trying to think, how can I engage? So now first I'm addicted to Stitch Fix. It's like a clothing thing. They send it to your house, and so I do an unveiling. And they also have like Ipsy, a makeup thing. So get creative on your personal page. Ask the questions. Your posts on your page should always ask a question. And I'll guarantee you that if you ask about the flu shot, your post will blow up. So you have to get creative. So I always say, like, brain dump. So I always think for the month, what am I going to do this month? What's going to be different about this month? So what's happening in May? I know what's happening in May. My life's crazy because of all the activities. So what do? I'll go on social media. You know, how are you guys handling all the activities? How are you keeping things straight? Now, I'm a very organized person. I have a whiteboard that my kids are all color-coded, but I want to hear what other people are doing too. People love to talk about themselves and what works for them. So when you engage in those core activities of that way of showing up on social media, it's a little bit different than, you know, the vital behaviors, but I think it's a very key component of keeping your ideas fresh and people to follow you, so that when you do invite people, they've already kind of, they like who you are and what you're doing. So when you're inviting people to a challenge group, they already know, like, oh my God, yeah, you know, I followed you on this whole Stitch Fix thing. Did you ever get that shirt? Sure, tell me more what a challenge group is about. They just start to have that, you know, that likability factor, that you're not just a Beachbody coach, you're actually a person and sharing all that.
I love that. And yes, I've seen the flu shot question and like 100 comments. So let's everybody go ask that question tomorrow.
And ask it every year, and you'll get some persnickety person, because you asked that last year. So what did I do? Deleted her comment. I'm like, go away. Bye-bye.
And it's great to expand your network with maybe new conversations, new people that, you know, they see that post on their newsfeed. So that's a really good one. I love that. What would you do differently when starting out in this business?
Oh man, organization. I don't really have systems, I'll admit that, because I haven't had time to have a really good system put in place. Because when I sit down, and I think this is what drives corporate nuts, but when I sit down, I'm working. I'm not thinking, oh, let me organize this and put this, and then I'll be, I invite and I work with my coaches. So I wish, it's kind of like, you know how you take pictures and you print them up and you don't put them in albums? That's my organization. My pictures are everywhere kind of thing. So I wish I would have become more organized. So what I'm trying to do every day is just to make one step a little bit easier than what I've done, you know, and I have some types of organization in place. But I wish I would have started that, but I didn't know how big it was going to go. So I think that if you even just a notebook, you know, I have a system that I have with just this, my handy dandy notebook, I call it, of just, you know, who I've invited, who I've talked to, you know, things like that. So I really wish I would have done that better so that I could duplicate it to my team. I mean, I did put out a video about, you know, how I stay organized, but it's changed. You know, everything keeps changing in my business. So if you guys can just get a little bit organized with your coaches. I admit I'm awful with leads. Drives my coaches nuts. I'm awful with it. Just reaching out to them, because I think I have to make connections with my coaches and everything first, that I don't get the time to get to my leads. Like, how stupid is that, Sarah? And I know it is. So I'm really trying to focus, like, oh, a lead. Okay, I got to connect with them. You know, so those are my really big downfalls.
You're so funny. For me, I don't like organization at all. I'm just not good at it. I'm not good with Excel or anything of that sort. But what keeps me organized is just like notepads. So like on Safari or on the MacBook Pro, I'm just like plain and simple like you. I just have my notes and that is it. I don't like to get too tech savvy.
Yeah, and do what works for you, because I know like my whole team is blown up about this Google Streak, which I hear is incredible. But let's be honest, guys, it'll take me longer to learn it right now. So for now, do what's working for you. You know, I always tell my coaches, like, you know, when you hear these different, you watch these YouTube videos and you see what these top coaches are doing, that's what works for them. Kind of like, you know, if you had a panel of 10 moms and how they ran their house and you were a new mom, take bits and pieces from them. You don't have to be the exact copy of them, because when you try to do exactly what they're doing and it's not you, it's just going to frustrate you. So just take, oh, that's a cool idea. I like that. And take bits and pieces from different coaches. That's what's helped me.
Awesome. Is that website kind of like Team Z? Because I know a coach in the network made a website to kind of organize your power hour.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Listen.
I'm fearless, but I'm clueless. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I did a video, and it's on YouTube. And it's talking about how I went diamond in 38 days, and I was 2-star in 4 months. That's how I titled it, to capture people.
Wow.
And that's how I stay organized. Well, somebody pinned it to their Pinterest board. I'm on Pinterest, but I'm not really on it. And it has like 30,000 views. And I'm like, I've never, you know, people are like messaging me like, oh my gosh, I want to join your team. So it's like, I want to thank the girl who repinned it, because I didn't even do it. So that's scary doing videos, but just put it out there. Just saturate that market. And I know there's so many different like Snapchat and YouTube and how many can you do? Like I was Snapchatting for a while and then I was like, I just feel like I'm always on this phone and I don't want that. That's not the culture I want, to create for my team. So, but yeah, just putting yourself out there on videos. I'm a huge video proponent because I do a video every day, like even like this about whatever. Because then when you message people, and I'm huge on voice messenger, and when I talk to them, I'm like, oh my God, I watch your videos. I can't believe you're actually talking to me. And I'm like, it's just me. Like I'm not famous, this is just what I'm doing. But people love that. And they get to see, your passion, your personality come out, so it's very cool.
Awesome. Love that. How do you promote your challenges, business opportunity call sneak peeks? Any tips on getting people engaged and interested?
So for me, I do things very differently, I see, than a lot of coaches. So I tried the sneak peeks and, I did one with a call and I did one where we talked about a bunch of different things. And to be honest, guys, it just wasn't working for me. So what I've done, and I'm trying to figure out how to make this work. So what I've done is I took some of my top diamond coaches and I took an emerald coach and I took a new coach at the time, just about 8 people. And I had them do 8 different topics of what a sneak peek would be. And I said 5 minutes or less. So I would have like, Amy did one about what is compensation. Somebody else did one about, I'm new in the business and this is what I've done. They're all different topics of what a sneak peek would be. So what we've done is we created this group. So now if if Stephanie wanted to pop a coach in, like, hi, I have this coach, she's interested, but I'm new, I don't even know what to do. She can throw them in this group and say, hey, here you go, Sue. Take a look at these videos. They're 5 minutes or less. These will answer a lot of your questions, and then I'll follow up with you. So they're connecting with real people. The structure of it, though, is we don't have this, like, open sneak peek because I've kind of taught my coaches that when you are talking with challengers, the goal is to sign them as a coach right away for the discount. So I've never, in the beginning I signed as challengers, but I didn't really understand, and I wish I would have because maybe I could have been top 10, but I didn't understand like why you wanted to sign coaches over challengers. I didn't get the whole point system thing. So now my goal is always to sign coaches, right away. And just being very honest and open with them, in my approach of how I do it and how I've taught them. And I'll say, do you want to pop in this group? You can see what it's all about, and I'll follow up with you. It's something that, A, if you want to work the business, you can, and B, if you don't, that's cool. Beachbody is cool like that. It's like a loyalty program at a grocery store. You can just get the discount. And hey, on day 29, if you're not interested, you don't want to continue, you just cancel. What does that do? It just pulls people in to understand that, wow, as a coach, this girl's pretty cool. I'm getting a discount. She's going to pop me now in 2 challenge groups, so she's with me for 60 days, which secures that coach for 2 months. So if you had to buffer or whatever. But then what I do is I'll send them this whole welcome email. And then, if they want to pop in my team page and see the camaraderie of the team, sometimes that's when they turn over and go, you know what? Yeah, I think I do want to do this. So my sneak peek has kind of turned into that. So what we want to do is a live sneak peek. We really want to try that. But here's the thing, guys, this is what I've come to this year, especially. I know I haven't been in this a long time, but it's working for us. It's working for my team. So that's what I'm going to stick with right now until it stops working. Or if we want to do something fresh, we can. But this is what's been working because people can pop in, watch the videos when they can, and really, engage with these people. And they're very quick. They're very to the point. And, it's a bunch of different people from working moms to full-time working dads are in there, part-time, stay-at-home moms, all different avenues. As far as challenge groups, so my advertising is pretty much me. I'll do one post and I will promote it, but it's really about inviting. So I usually do about 2 challenge groups a month, and I just kind of stagger it. So like in May, I'm not going to start a group May 2nd because I'll start it probably May 9th and then another one May 23rd, so I can secure that success of that first week, pop them in that one for May 9th. But what I also do is when I have somebody that's interested in a challenge group or really doesn't know anything about it, I'll say, hey, do you want to pop in an existing group for a little bit, see what it's all about, so then they can see, okay, I got to do a workout. These people are drinking Shakeology, whatever the hell that is, and they're recording their food, their water, and their sleep. God, yes, I need that accountability. So then after about, a day, I'll pull them out and say, what'd you think of the group? Isn't it awesome? Is it something that you think would help you? So they get a preview of what it's all about. So I've kind of done things a little bit differently, I know, than a lot of different coaches. But again, it's worked for my team and it's worked for me. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. So every month, I guess you could say my calendar kind of changes because it's based on where a Monday falls in the month and if we can secure that Success Club.
I love that. Do you have like a simple script that you use to kind of work them into the like preferred discount coach, compared to, just a customer?
Well, it's kind of a couple steps. So it's pretty much like if I was talking to you, Danielle, and you said, yeah, I'm interested in the challenge group. I 99% of the time, that's when I pick this up. Because when you voice message someone, think about it. I mean, I can't stand long messages. I can't stand long posts from coaches. I can't follow it. I'm such a New Yorker. Give it to me straight to the point. Let's get this. What is it? So I pick up the phone and I'll say, okay, listen, there's two options here. Are you interested in joining a group for 2 months? And I just leave it at that. I'm always asking questions to them. And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, all right, well, let's be smart about this, because what you can do is you can sign up for our loyalty program. You're going to get, let's just say 21-day fix. You're going to get, 21-day fix for $160. Then that following month, you're going to see 2 charges on your bill. One for Shakeology. My husband's making a shake. I swear to God, every time I do it, I love you too. He makes a shake. So I'll say, you're going to see 2 charges on your bill. One for $99 for Shakeology, and one is this business fee of $15.95. Those 2 total $116, which is cool in the loyalty program, because if you get it as a customer, you're going to pay $129 plus shipping and tax, and it's worth it. But why not save the money? So as I'm talking back and forth with them, it's building that integrity. And I say, I have the phone. I'm like, I'm an open book. If this is something you want to do, I'm totally cool with it. I'm just letting you know. So once they say that, I tell them, okay, listen, it's going to say coach. Don't worry. And you all have this, whether you aren't even Emerald, in your organization, you have a ton of coaches that do it just for the discount. So you can say that because you do have that in your organization. My one coach who's an Emerald, she's like, but I don't have a ton of coaches that do it. I go, you have a ton of coaches in your organization that do this. Yes, you do. So after that, once and they say that and they sign up and they're good to go, then, they already know what they're in for. I've laid it all out for them very piece by piece. So now they're in 2 challenge groups. Then I send a welcome letter, and in that welcome letter, there's a 1-minute video of me saying, hey, this is something I'm just sending to you. Don't feel any pressure. Just watch this 1-minute video. Let me know. I always have to share this opportunity, because to me, it's like a kid running in the street. I have to go grab them. Now, why wouldn't I share this opportunity when it's completely transformed my family's financial freedom? It's crazy. So in that 1-minute video, I'll say, are you interested in, just doing it for the discount? You can. Totally cool. Beachbody, you can do that. B, maybe get your Shakeology covered. Like, hey, I probably have like 2 or 3 people that may want to do this with me. Or 3, 100% all in. Like, I'm ready to do this. So they get back to me. What does this do? So if I have placed them on my left leg and all of a sudden they're like, I want to bang this out. I'm ready to go. Like, this is awesome. I didn't realize this opportunity. Or, hey, maybe I want to get my shake covered. Now I can switch them in the placement of my business. So what I thought was a discount coach, maybe now worth the business. It's not a guarantee. We know this business is like a chess match. But I can reorganize my legs to see where they're going to be placed, that if they're possibly interested in joining, as somebody that wants to work the business.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I definitely got a couple things in my head now that's going.
Smoke.
Yeah. Do you have systems in place for onboarding new coaches and training your team in general?
Kinda.
Yeah, that kind of went back to that first one.
Yeah, so the systems, yes. I send the letter, they let me know, and then what I do have is, I'm a big proponent, and I was in this group with Kim Carver from corporate about Coach Basics, and I said, listen, I'm so sick of seeing, and I have it, I only have a 14-day, and it's not complete because I haven't had time to complete it, but why are we recreating Coach Basics? when that's what we are taught. Don't duplicate anything. Don't reinvent the wheel. I see that Coach Basics in the back office. I like it. So I do have kind of like a Coach Basics to the point of the first 7 days are really the nuts and bolts of, and it's a video of me setting up, you know, your online office, how do you do your EFT? This is when we get paid. And then I go right to it. This is the importance of Emerald. You need to hit Emerald in a week. It's a standard in my business. And do people always hit it? No. But when I've set the standard, just like with my kids, when you wake up, you make your bed. Like, that's how it goes in our house. It's not like maybe you do, maybe you don't. So in my team, I've created that culture of you need to hit Emerald. If you're here to work this business, you don't want to lose that volume. You know, we got a sick team. You don't want to lose that volume. So after they've done like the first 7 days of my training, I do a Zoom with them. And I'll say, you know, I'll answer all the, you know, the nuggets of all the information that they want. But I only do that Zoom if they showed up every day on social media. And trust me, they go at the top of who I'm looking at. Every day they show up on social media and they've completed that 7 days of training. I do not do GSR calls. They are recorded and they can listen in. I'm not chasing people. You know that sport, curling? I don't know, is that even a sport where you have the ball and you're the broom? I was the broom all the time. Like, come on, Granny, you can do it. Come on. And I'm like, this is exhausting. I am not doing this. I'm not chasing coaches. So, you know, I have that. I feel like if they're ready to do this, they are grown-ups. This is their business. They are the CEO of their company. Here is the GSR you can listen in on. I've done 457 probably this week. So here it is. I've recorded it. Here's the GSR number 2. Here's a video that goes with it. Here's some other nuts and bolts. And then we'll Zoom. Now, when I connect with them and say, okay, how's this for a date? I'm grabbing a couple other new coaches, you know, trying to time it properly. But I tell them, you need to show up on social media. You need to post your workouts. You need to just do the program right now. Because if they've never had Shakeology and they've never done a workout program, they just need to show up, you know. And some will say, you know, I just want to try it for a month. Fantastic. Show up every day then with anything. And then we can do a Zoom. So that's kind of how I've onboarded them. And it's a lot of personal attention. It is. But I figure if I have 4 kids and I can do it, then anybody can do it, you know, as far as personal attention.
That's very true. And your time is valuable at this point. So you can't be getting on the phone with everybody within the first couple days. How do you balance your business along with other responsibilities such as another job, which you don't have, and your family and your kids?
I don't. This is a tough one for me because I kept thinking, like, I don't know why, like, wow, well, once I'm 5-star and once I'm 10-star and once like things will settle down, and they just don't. So I struggle with this daily. This is me being real. I try to do what I can, and I turn my phone off. Like, I just don't answer it, don't go to it. And you know, you don't always want to be available to your team, and you don't always want to be available to your challengers. I don't check in on Sundays in my challenge groups, A, because I need a day off from it, and B, because I want to show those people I'm not always on. And they see, you know, I'm still successful, I'm still there, but guess what? You're grown-ups. I'm taking Sunday off. You still report in. I'll check back on Monday. So the balance is still a tough one for me. I'm still trying to figure it out. I still have a 3-year-old at home. Once she goes to school, things will change tremendously, but that is not going to change. Like, I am hiring a sitter over the summer just to come for a couple hours, 2 to 3 days a week, even if it's just to go sit in Starbucks parking lot, you know, just something so I have a brain. But I mean, I haven't perfected it. I just haven't, because I have 4 kids. It's hard, you know, when I'm on a coach call and I have to get off because they're getting off the bus, you know, I don't want them to remember me always working. So I usually work, you know, I'll pop in here and there in the morning while Juliet's either eating breakfast or whatever. They're very involved in my posts, though. They are, and it drives my family crazy. But, you know, breakfast or whatever, they drink the Shakeology, and people like to see. They ask, you know, about the kids, and it gets them interested. So they're in a lot of my posts. But then really when I work is the afternoon when Juliet naps from like 1:30 till about 3:15, then my kids are off the bus, and then they go to bed at 8, and then I work. So I'm still figuring out. There's days, like especially on the weekend, where I'll say, babe, I got to sit down for at least an hour and just go through this, you know, and he'll take them. So he's very supportive about that too, and he helps me. But I haven't perfected the balance. I mean, show me one person that has, and they're lying, I think.
It's really true. And I still don't have balance either. I've just learned to kind of rearrange my schedule. And there's certain days, it's just crazy. And it's never going to be, I think, perfect. If you're on the path to creating some type of like freedom for your family, it's just impossible.
But then you get those days on Saturday where you can just be like, cool, I'm going out. Or on a Tuesday, you know, like that's what I'm trying to create. So I may have to dive in. But shoot, I love that quote that says, I'd rather work hard for 3 to 4 years than work at a job for 40 years that I hate, you know, living a life that, you know, you just wake up, go to work, come home, eat, go to bed. Like, that's not life. We're not meant to live that life. You know?
Right. All right. What is your favorite personal development book or audio?
GoPro.
Yeah, I love that book too. Like, I'm always quoting it.
I read The Compound Effect. I do like it. I do believe in that. But GoPro was huge for me because I was that girl that said, what did you think of the Shakeology video? And I'd be like, why aren't they answering me? So it taught me, I thought it was written for Beachbody coaches. It's so spot on. I love GoPro. And I also love, you guys all need this. I did a group for it. It's called a podcast called MLM Nation.
I have it. I love it.
Oh my gosh. That is like, those are our people. They're our people. So it's, who's the author? I think it's Eric War. Yeah, it's Eric War. I'll show you the book. This is the book. It's an easy read. And I'm somebody like, I need something easy to read, makes sense to me. I don't want to dive in or anything. Yeah. That's MLM Nation. Is fantastic.
Yeah, download that.
Giving their best practices, and they don't say what business they're in, which I think is so funny. Do you ever notice that on those podcasts? They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've been doing this for 3 years." I'm like, "Doing what? What are you?" But they never say what company they're with. But you listen to those, and they're so relatable. Like stay-at-home mom or woman who like transferred her business over. Those are awesome.
They give you the best tips too. Like the last one I listened to was, some big millionaire in MLM. And I was so like, what company do you work for? But she said like a great tip is instead of just inviting to your business opportunity calls or sneak peeks, do something really creative, like a wine Wednesday. Like what woman doesn't want to join a wine Wednesday? And so that motivated me like to put on my to-do list to come up with something very creative with a sneak peek or opportunity call, just a fun, catchy name. So you get so many ideas from that podcast. So what's one action you recommend we do right now that will help us move our business forward?
Share your story.
Yes. Love that.
And if you shared it already, share it again. Share it again. Yep.
Love it. What are you most proud of?
My family.
I
am. They're the reason why. My husband is so supportive. I remember when I signed up it was actually a week later, and I sat down next to him on the couch, and we were so budgeted. And I said, I have to sign you up. And he was like, babe, we can't do another 106. I go, I will make this work. And thank God I put him at the top of my organization. Like, we'd be missing out on so much money if I never did. So they are why I do what I do.
Love it. So sign your spouse up, guys. If you don't have a spouse, sign your family up. I signed my mom and my husband, and they're both banking. So trust me, do it. You'll kick yourself a year from now if you don't. Okay, that was all of our questions, but now I'm going to share some questions from our top leaders, if you don't mind staying a couple more minutes. Okay, so how did you make time in the beginning starting your journey off? Well, I think we've already answered that, right? Sacrifice and no balance.
No balance. I was all over the place because I didn't know what I was doing. And my coach was at Summit, and I was like, hey, how do I sign? I have someone that wants to buy a challenge pack. And so I pretty much, from that point forward, I really just relied on YouTube, Google, and Francisco at Coach Relations. I called him probably at least 3 or 4 times a day for the first 6 months. No lie, every day. And I always got Francisco. So when I got to the 5-star line, I was like, oh, good. I don't have to talk to Francisco anymore. Like, he probably thinks I'm crazy. But I am someone where I find my own answers. I have to figure it out.
Right.
That's really how I ran it.
How do you help your new coaches overcome obstacles? if they're not getting Success Club or hitting roadblocks?
I think it's really just about teaching them that, I have a girl that's on, and she just sent me a message, and she's Emerald, and she's been a coach a month, and she's like, okay, so I'm getting a lot of no's. And I think it's really, I voice messaged her back, and I said, Elizabeth, totally normal. This is when the leaders are made. When you hear the no's and you keep going. The ball's in your court. You want to quit now? And when they sign up, I tell them, if you're not willing to commit for at least a year right now, do not try this business. You can't try this business. Beachbody gives you this avenue. Here, we'll do all the marketing. We have this awesome nutrition plan. We have workouts. You don't have to be a personal trainer. You can be whatever you want. We got it covered. All you have to do is present the opportunity to people. So if you look at that like, well, I am trying. And I always tell my team, don't try, do. This is your business. So, and I'm kind of a tough love coach that way, that I tell them, it's hard for everyone. Working out is hard, but being depressed, sitting on a couch, being at a job you hate is harder. So it's your choice.
It is so true. I love this question. This is a great one. How did you do it so fast? Because honestly, just looking at your numbers and other numbers in the network and the wall, like you hit numbers like faster than anybody with Premier, with Elite, with going certain ranks like crazy fast. Like what are some of your tips, or like what are the core things you think you did to get there that fast?
I worked with the coaches that wanted it, and I stayed on them. I was pushing for 10-star. This is something that I love doing. I have another one going right now. I was pushing for 10-star, but I needed a coach on my left and a coach on my right. And I had these two girls that really wanted it. So I presented the opportunity that I said, listen, I'm going to put you on a text thread with this girl, Trisha. She wants diamond too. We're going to collaborate, and we're going to hit this diamond rank. And it was intense, very intense, because every day I would say, okay, what are you doing? How are you inviting? Who did you invite? What is your goal? What is your goal today? Who are you signing today? So it was a lot of personal attention on the phone. And the one girl hit it that day, and the girl hit it that night at 11:40. And I think I threw my phone across, like, holy smokes, but it worked. So for me, it was about them seeing me showing up, me talking about the opportunity. They were just drawn in and wanted that. They wanted that happiness. They wanted that freedom because I talked about it so much. So those coaches that really wanted it are the ones I worked with. And I set the expectation for them that, it wasn't, okay, you're Emerald, boo, what is your, no, you're Emerald. Okay, this is how close you are to Diamond. It's just a natural flow to me. So what's your next step? And then when they hit Diamond, it's the whole, I'm like, congratulations. Okay, now you need to buffer. There's always that next step. It's kind of like, you don't go to first grade and woohoo, you passed first grade. No, now it's second grade. So I think when you set the expectations, they don't want to let you down. They don't want to let themselves down, but they really don't want to let you down. So when they see the business opportunity and they know the potential of what's to come, and they're paired with people with the same goal, they will push for it. Plus, it's that healthy competition too. Like, oh shit, she ordered 20 people you invited? Oh my God, I only invited 3. All right, I got to sit down. I got to get this done. So it was that healthy competition of getting them going. Now, guys, I have had people drop. I had one coach, my diamond coach, completely quit. And, I do the thing in my head, like, I would have been a superstar diamond last October if they all stayed. Now, I don't care. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm at the point now where I'm like, I don't care if I'm 2-star, as long as these are the coaches that want it. Like I said, it's that curling. Like, I'm willing to work with the willing, and they know that now. Coaches don't come to me and say, can we talk? I've been a coach for 7 months, and I've never hit Success Club. No, we can't. Because if I'm talking to you, I'm taking time away from my family and my business. Show up, do the vital behaviors, do what you're supposed to do. Hit Success Club, then we'll talk. Because really, that's the basis of growing your business, is hitting Success Club. So, if you have a kid that comes to a teacher and says, I'm really having trouble, really? Because you never show up in class, you never do homework. No, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to the kid that's busting his butt, trying to do everything that he's doing. Yeah, that's the attention. So know where you're placing your attention to people too.
That's good. That's good stuff. Okay, 2 more fast ones. This one was really a big one with all the leaders, because to get to where you are now in this fast of time, you obviously had to be recruiting a lot of coaches in fast and getting them motivated and producing. So kind of like what your strategy was to recruit these many coaches last year, and how you got them like rolling, rocking and rolling.
So it was really about me talking about the coaching opportunity. I talked about it all the time. You will not get coaches if you don't talk about the coaching opportunity. It's just the truth, like nobody's going to buy the shampoo that you're putting on the shelf just because it's there if you don't do an advertisement on TV and people see it 15 times and then they see somebody using it and they're like, oh my God, I was going to buy that shampoo. It's the same thing with our business. So the more you talk about the coaching opportunity, and I'm not saying, like, hi, I'm a coach, come join me. I'm talking about like, this is awesome. It's sunny and 55. I can answer a couple of messages while my daughter's on the swing set. I love this job, or, anything like that. Those little jabs add up to something huge. So for me, I recruited coaches, not challengers. So when those challengers, wanted to be presented with that opportunity and I showed them what could be done, that's how I grew the business.
So right, like if you don't share, you're not going to attract those business builders into your business because they're just seeing you promote health and fitness. So yes, love that. Last one, tips for getting Success Club consecutively.
Just invite and go back to your no's, because those no's mean not right now. And when you get a no, don't take a no. And I'm not saying where you go, no, you're going to do this. I'm saying you say to them, okay, I get it now, might be not the right time, especially if you're a new coach. They don't know what the hell you're talking about. They're like, but you show up consistently every day on social media and they see what you're doing and you're talking about your challengers and you're talking about the success they're having, and they see that when you come back and you say, okay, I know now might not be the right time. Do you want me to follow up maybe in 2 or 3 months? Would that work? So the more that you engage with these people on, a daily basis and inviting, that's how you're going to, secure that success. It's a non-negotiable. You're a Beachbody coach, you hit Success Club. It's one and the same.
Amen. This was such a great call. I am just so honored and blessed that you were able to come and speak to us, and thank you so much. We're going to blow up your wall right now. So thank you from all of us. I hope you have a wonderful night. And this is recorded, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.